Zach Schmidt. I'm the Deputy Director of Organizing and Faith Engagement, and we'll just keep admitting folks as they trickle in, but we'll keep going. Really appreciate you all joining us tonight. It's obviously a very busy time. We're 1 week out from Christmas, so you have a lot of things you could be doing and probably are thinking about right now, needing to get done. But really grateful that you're spending just a little bit of time with us tonight. And we'll kind of keep things moving and get you back to wrapping and shopping and all that you need to do as well. But this is the state conveners informational meeting talking about mobilizing in 2026. And again, really appreciate everyone being here. So I'm going to share my screen just real quick because I want to show the agenda. I'm a visual person, so show the agenda. And then we're going to turn it off again for what's next. But let me, sorry. Okay, so we're going to have a reflection from Florence, and we'll do a round of introductions, including our staff, and then invite you all to introduce yourselves. And then we'll talk about why state convenings? Why are we moving to this model of Bread for the World organizing and mobilizing? And what's the plan? We're going to sketch out a plan for 2026 and how these state convenings kind of fit into that, and what to look forward to. What is the role then of state convener? And many of you have had conversations with Florence or Nicole or David about this already, and maybe not all of you have, and some of you are like, yes, I'm ready to go. Others are thinking, totally great. But we'll walk through that a little bit more. And then what can you expect from us as Bread for the World staff, as the mobilizing team? And then we'll open it up for questions. What questions do you have, and how can we help you understand a little bit more about what we're moving into and what this could look like, and then lay out what's next and get you on your way. So that's basically what we have for the agenda, and I'm going to turn off the screen share again and turn it over to my colleague Florence in Florida to share an Advent reflection. Florence?
And for those people who might also be visual, like Zach and myself, I'm going to go ahead and put it on the screen, even though we're going to read it. So this is from our Advent calendar. And this reflection was written by our managing director, the Reverend Heather Taylor. It begins with Luke 1:46b to 55. My soul magnifies the Lord, and my spirit rejoices in God, my Savior, for he has looked with favor on the lowliness of his servant. Surely from now on, all generations will call me blessed. The reflection. Mary's Magnificat in Luke 1 is a renowned song of praise in the Advent season. It is a direct response to God's prophetic word to her in a profoundly dark time. She bursts with praise not long after Gabriel informs her that she would give birth to a son named Jesus, who would be the Son of the Most High God, inherit the throne of David, and reign forever. This timely word went against all odds. That is, everything her natural eyes and mind could reasonably comprehend in her present circumstances. She was a virgin, physically incapable of bearing a child, living under the rule of Herod the Great, who would cease at nothing to maintain power. Yet she was told she would give birth to a new king who would reign forever. Mary not only believed this extraordinarily good news, but she praised God in response, recognizing that God's presence was in her midst and abided in her humility. Christ's birth is not only a witness of God's glory, but also a reflection of our Creator's desire to send light, hope, and transformative power in the darkest of times, through us as conduits, if we remain humble and believe God's word. Neither our physical limitations nor the rulers of this world are what ultimately determine whether God's people or our world will experience an extraordinary breakthrough. Rather, God's favor and our humble disposition are the determinants of how God's peace, justice, and love will manifest in and through us and prevail in uncertain times. How might we respond with joy to God's promise of good news and seek justice in uncertain times? And before I share the prayer, for those of you who are joining us from Florida, who might be from the Central Florida area, we shared this on Monday. We began our time together talking about what brings us joy. And as we went around the room listening from 18 people, at the end of that time, we were all just in awe that although we also talked about the darkness that we've experienced in 2025, ultimately is that it has led us to this moment of joy, of feeling that something beautiful is about to happen. So let us pray. God of peace and justice, help us to exercise our faith, take comfort in your word, and believe your promises in these uncertain times. Equip us to resist the temptation to respond to evil and darkness with unrighteous anger or pride. Empower us to be peacemakers, embody the joy of the Lord rooted in our faith, and pierce the darkness with your abundant love. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Florence. All right. Well, that's a good word for us, I think, as we move forward and in the season, certainly as we move into the next year of our work together. So now I want to open things up to our team here, and then we'd like to invite you all to introduce yourselves as well, and just sharing your name, the state that you're in, the church, or if you're a part of a college. I think most are church connections, and then your denominational affiliation. So just real brief, those four things, and your bread organizer will call on you. But yeah, we'll start with our colleague David Gist, who we just celebrated this afternoon, who is going to be moving on from bread into retirement in just a couple weeks. But he has still faithfully invited some of you to be a part of this, and so we're keeping him busy these final few weeks as well. So just like David to introduce himself, and then David, please have your leaders introduce themselves as well.
Hi, everyone. I'm David Gist. I've been with Brett a while and transitioning into a volunteer position. Uh, so I'll be volunteering like all of you. And I'm based in Pasadena, California, home of the Rose Parade. And I got to work on a float recently. So you said my church, I'm a member of Pasadena Mennonite Church. My city, what am I missing, Zach? You rattle through those quickly for me. Sorry.
State
California.
but your denomination, yeah.
Yeah, and Mennonite. And why don't I, Mary Claire, are you able to come off mute and introduce yourself, and then
Sure.
ask Meg to follow you?
Okay, great. As you may have guessed, my name is Mary Claire James. I'm in Alameda, California, and I go to Trinity Lutheran Church here in Alameda. I like walking to it very much. And I was so delighted to attend the summit this year. It was awesome. Okay, Meg?
Yeah. Hi, everybody. Hi, David and Mary Claire. Meg Bowerman from Oakland, St. Columba Catholic Church, and great to be with you all. I think that's it.
I don't know if Paul is on, Paul Tice, but I'm not seeing him, so he's interested as well. Well, why don't we go to Colorado? Beth, are you able to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Beth DeHaven and from Colorado, Fort Collins. And our church is Our Savior's Lutheran Church, ELCA.
Great. And if we go to Hawaii, Pastor Kimberly, are you able to? I think you're on. We can come back. Um, is 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 Lynn Call on from Oregon?
I haven't seen Lynn.
Okay. Well, they may join later, and then I'm on a computer and a phone. The computer just ended, so why don't we move on to another region while my systems get themselves straightened out?
Sure thing, David. And Pastor Kimberly, were you about to unmute? Did I see that? Maybe, maybe not. No problem. All right. Well, we'll move on to Florence, our Bread for the World colleague based in Florida. Florence, you want to introduce yourself again, and then the leaders that you have on the call.
So I'm Florence French Bacon, and I am based in South Florida in Deerfield Beach, and I attend St. Jude Catholic Church. So let's start with our folks from Florida. And the first person that I see is Pastor Sarah Robinson.
Hello, all. I am in Orlando, Florida, and I pastor Audubon Park Church in Orlando, in the city, not downtown, but in the city, not Disney or whatever you might be imagining.
Thank you, Pastor Sarah. And how about Marsha Mullings?
Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Marsha Mullings. I am a friend and colleague of Miss French. Grew up Episcopalian, but went to, as a young lady in the Caribbean, you have to go to every church. Respectfully, it's the right thing to do. Right now, non-denominational, but I do attend Lutheran services with friends, as
Thank you
often as can.
Thank you for being here. Karen, are you able to come off mute? Karen Niemoff?
I guess I am. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you. Karen, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Go ahead and introduce yourself, where you are, and what church do you attend?
I'm in Miami, Florida. I attend St. Louis Roman Catholic Church.
Thank you for being here, Karen. And let us go on to, I see, Arkansas. Landon, you were invited by John, so come on off and introduce yourself.
Yes, my name is Lenny Rose. I'm currently a student at the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, and currently I'm based in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. And I go to a church in Little Rock, pretty much. So
Thanks for being here. How about you, John? John Thompson.
Hello, everyone. My name is John Thompson, and I attend Arkansas State University, and I go to New Life Ministries in Pine Bluff, Arkansas.
All righty, and I think we'll move on to Alabama. Mackenzie?
Hey, I'm Mackenzie Brown. I'm from I work with the Jasper Area Family Service Center here in Jasper, Alabama, where we serve 3 different counties in Alabama.
Great to hear your voice. How about Kim Looney?
Hey everyone, my name is Kim Looney, and I'm in Birmingham, Alabama, and I'm here representing Baptist Church of the Covenant.
Thanks for being here. And let's go to Virginia. Elder Agee.
Good evening. My name is Kevin Agee. I'm the presiding elder of the Washington, Virginia district of CME Church. I actually live in Maryland after living in DC for about 4 years. However, 17 of the congregations that I superintend are in the state of Virginia. And I also serve as the pastor of Russell Temple CME Church in Alexandria, Virginia.
Thank you, Elder, for being here. And last but not least, let's go to Kentucky with Dave Miner.
Whoop, there it goes. Hi, I'm Dave Miner. I'm from Bowling Green, Kentucky, and I attend First Christian Church, which is Disciple of Christ.
Thanks for being here. I think I've gotten anybody. If there's anybody that I missed, that I invited, please speak up now or forever hold your peace.
Hi, I'm Calvin Thomas from Pine Bluff, Arkansas. I was invited by John Thompson. I attend New Life Church here in Pine Bluff. We're non-denominational.
Thank you so much for being here. And John, thank you for inviting him. And with that, I'll pass it off to Nicole.
Well, actually, let me jump in, Florence. I forgot to invite Vivian because my screen closed and suddenly I only had a phone and not a computer screen. So Vivian, would you be so kind as to unmute and introduce yourself there from Idaho?
Yes, Vivian Parrish from Boise, Idaho. I belong to Hyde Park Mennonite Church, the Mennonite USA.
Great.
Thank you, Vivian.
I'm glad we didn't miss out on you, Vivian. I've heard a lot about you. Glad you're here. My name's Nicole Schmidt. I'm senior regional organizer with Bread for the World. I'm located in Ohio. I go to Grow Point Church in Amherst, Ohio, and I'm just so happy to see all of your faces when you could be doing so many other things. So thanks for being with us. So Abby in South Dakota, I think I saw Abby a minute ago. Abby, would you introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, I'm Abigail Smith. I'm a junior at Augustana University, which is a Lutheran university in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. So happy to be here. Thank you, Nicole.
Yeah, thanks, Abby. Scott, I know I saw you as well. Scott
Scott
Moon?
Moon. Scott Moon from Cape Girardeau, Missouri. I'm a retired United Methodist pastor, currently serving as pastor in Cape Girardeau, Missouri.
Great, thanks, Scott. And we'll go to Kansas. Greg?
Greg Hunt from the Kansas City area, and I'm connected with Cooperative Baptist Fellowship, Disciples of Christ, and as of last week, Church of the Resurrection, a United Methodist Church in the KC area.
Great, thank you. And we'll go to North Dakota. Pastor Marty?
Hi. Yeah, where it's freezing. We're trying to warm it up before it gets to the rest of you. I'm senior pastor at Jamestown's First United Methodist Church, and I've been a Bread member for over 40 years. So it's a privilege to be here.
So glad you're here. We're also missing, which it might just be the time of year it is, we're missing Larry Ottoman from Ames, Iowa. We're really excited that Larry has made the commitment to lead a state convening in Iowa. He goes to Bethesda Lutheran Church. And then we also have Laura Van Dale from Ohio, which many of you know. She's a member of Lakewood Presbyterian Church, and she is the Hunger Action Coordinator at the Presbytery of the Western Reserve. So again, thank you all for being with us tonight.
And Zach, can I go back one person that I missed? Gail Harper. Can you introduce yourself, please?
We do have one more person for David
Yeah.
to introduce as well. We're
Paul,
waiting for Gail.
Paul, while we're waiting for Gail, do you want to unmute and introduce yourself? Just like your city, your church, your denomination, the brand of neck pillow.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry, folks. I'm just going to have to zoom in and zoom out for a few minutes here, but I'm glad to be here with you all. My name is Paul Tice. I belong to United in Grace Lutheran Church, ELCA, in Vallejo, California. That's near San Francisco.
Zach, Gail couldn't find her mic. She's from Birmingham, Alabama, and she attends St. Luke's, and she's a teacher at Woodlawn High School. And actually, I'm sorry.
Hey, Florence, I'm so
There you
sorry.
go. That's okay.
Thank you for, we call it voluntelling someone, but I could not find my mic and was just enjoying all the other introductions. But I am Gail Harper Yielding and Morris, newly married and a teacher at Woodlawn High School, as well as a member of St. Luke's Episcopal. I met Florence when she came to visit Birmingham, and so I'm thrilled that she invited me tonight. Thank you.
Gail did a lot of good work, and I don't know if you still do at Auburn University as well.
I've graduated with my doctorate, but I'm still in touch with the same people and working with hunger as much as I can. We've started a food bank at our school, and as many of you know, it never ends. So thank you.
Thank you for being here. The last person I saw that just joined is from Tennessee. Ashley, would you mind introducing yourself, letting us know where you're from, and if you attend a church, share the name of the church with us.
Okay, hi, my name is Ashley Blair. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. I attend Free Spirit Missionary Baptist Church, and I'm just happy to be here.
Thanks, Ashley. Thanks, everyone. I have a few more people to invite to introduce from kind of the northeastern states. And again, my name is Zach, and I'm in the Chicago area. So Illinois is my state, and I'm at a Fellowship of Faith Lutheran Church. Uh, so so that's me. And let's see. Is John Holden, are you on?
I am. Hi, Zach.
Hey,
Hello,
John.
everyone. My name is John Holden. I live in Silver Spring, Maryland, which is near DC, and I'm a part of St. Camillus Catholic Church in Silver Spring.
All right, thanks, John. And Father John, did I see Father John Michalowski? Are you on?
Hi, John Michalowski. I'm a Catholic priest in Portland, Maine. Um, so, welcome. Good to be with you.
Thanks for being here. Absolutely. Also from Maine, Kim Crook, are you still on? You should have
Oh,
yeah, there
yeah, I
you
am. Okay, I couldn't unmute. My name's Kim Crook. I'm in South Portland, Maine. I attend a church called Table Church in Portland, and I'm kind of non-denominational or perhaps multi. I can't be sure. Thank you.
go. Multi, I like that. Thanks, Kim. And Ann Fotino.
Hi, Ann Fotino. I live in northeastern New Jersey, and I attend the Church of the Presentation, which is the Catholic Church in Upper Saddle River, New Jersey.
All right, thanks, Ann. Anyone else who has not introduced themselves yet? Anyone we missed?
I can introduce myself now. I'm Kim
Great.
Half, and I am at First United Methodist Church of Honolulu in Hawaii.
All right.
Hi,
Thank you.
I'm
Go
Makaya
ahead.
Williams. I was invited by Jen. I attend the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, and I attend First Trinity Church of God in Christ. And I'm happy to be here.
Welcome. Anyone else? It's a great group we have.
Zach, should we invite our other colleagues to introduce themselves?
Yeah, let's do that. Rob, Boywa, if you're able. Yeah,
Yeah,
go ahead,
and
Rob.
just really quickly, Rob Friedlander, the next gen strategist. So, working with college students and young people across the country. So, those of you on the call will definitely be getting a follow-up email soon, based in Brooklyn, New York, but will be and from originally like 5 minutes down the road, Greg, from your campus in Overland Park. So, I'm really excited to be here tonight.
Thanks, Rob.
Hi everyone, good evening. It's good to be here. I'm Omoboyo Robert, the Progress Team Lead, supporting Ogefi, and happy to meet all the other leaders from the different regions and happy to be here.
Thanks, Boywa. And what state and what's your church?
Okay, I stay in Maryland and I attend the Arundel Christian Church, a Pentecostal church. Thank you.
All right, thanks. Great. Anyone else that did we cover everyone? Everyone get a chance to introduce themselves. All right, well, this is exciting. We have people from Hawaii all the way to Maine, and many denominations, as we heard, different faith traditions. Really great. Different experiences with bread, some new, some been around for a while. But yes, thank you all once again for being here and introducing yourselves, and we'll keep moving. So hope you're encouraged as we are, certainly by those who've shown up to this call, whether you've said yes yet or not, still thinking about the state convening role. Just really great to see you all, and again, especially a week out from Christmas. So hopefully you all can see my screen again. And some of this, for some of you, might be kind of review at this point. We'll move through it fairly quickly. but for others, maybe it's new or you're still thinking on things. But we've been talking about state convenings at Bread for the World, and Bread for the World, if we're focused on the national level, primarily on federal policy, um, what's coming out of U.S. Congress, and encouraging people to engage. But we are wanting to better kind of partner with and support the work of Bread for the World members in churches, campuses, and individuals. And so we are moving to a model of what we're calling state convenings to better support, leverage, and grow the network of Bread for the World members and advocates from one state to another. And we see these convenings, these meetings as a way to strategically and collaboratively build impact with members of Congress, which is really what we're seeking to do and where we seek to effect change and achieve policy wins against hunger, which is our focus at Bread. And we see these state convenings, these meetings also as a place where we can create space and synergy for new connections between Bread for the World members and their contacts, and also lift up new ideas and ways to advocate together. So those are a few of the reasons why we're excited to move in this direction. We think it'll make our advocacy even stronger at the end of the day. These are volunteer led by many of you, and we as staff are committed to supporting you in doing that. We see it as a partnership, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. But these are also taking place on a quarterly basis, and we'll talk a little bit more about what each quarter kind of looks like, and they'll happen on Zoom, by and large, Zoom or maybe Google Meet or something, depending on what technology people use. But in some cases, maybe people will gather together in person and do a hybrid meeting. But for the most part, it's connecting with people across your state on Zoom. So that is just a brief sketch of state convenings. So how this fits with Bread for the World's kind of advocacy throughout the year. And so we're looking now at a 2026 sort of quarterly calendar, because that's how we kind of how we understand the blocks of work that we do throughout the course of a year. So we have a national focus, and the state convenings, by and large, are going to kind of align with that national focus. So the first quarter coming up just around the corner is our offering of letters launch. And for those who don't have that on your calendars yet, be sure to mark it. It's February 10th. And we will be inviting people to learn about the letter writing focus, what we're going to be calling on Congress to do in 2026. And then the state focus, which again, and this is really with for the convenings, is to recruit for this launch on February 10th for the offering of letters launch, and then to mobilize around the offering of letters. So are you all holding offerings of letters in your respective faith communities? And are there other communities that you can invite to hold an offering of letters? How many offerings of letters did your state have? And this is things that we can, as an organizing team, take a look at with you. But how many did your state do in 2025? Well, maybe let's set a goal for 2026, and how can we grow that? And how can we bring more coordination amongst the different offerings of letters that are happening across the state? So being aware of who's doing what when, and maybe joining together to deliver letters. Some of you know we've been moving in that direction as well. But a lot of possibilities and opportunities, but again, focused around the offering of letters for the first quarter. Second quarter, continuing with that offering of letters focus, but then really also zeroing in on the advocacy summit, which again, and we would love for you all to be a part of the advocacy summit. We do this each year in June in Washington, D.C. It's the 9th through 10th this coming year, Tuesday and Wednesday. And it's a time when advocates from across the country, Bread members and friends, come together to worship together, to learn, to grow, build skills, and then to meet with members of Congress on Capitol Hill. Many of you have been a part of those in the past. Some of you haven't, and we'd like to invite you to. But the state convenings and the focus will be how can we get a delegation from Maine, from Idaho, from California, from Alabama to come to the Advocacy Summit together, um, building on the offering of letters. Third quarter, as many of you know, we focus on in-district work, in-district actions. Members of Congress come back home for the month of August, and we try to set up meetings with them when they're back. Often they're with staff, sometimes they're still on Zoom, but we try to use that as an opportunity to, again, put our requests, our asks in front of the members of Congress and staff, maybe invite them to your church, to a food pantry, a larger event. And so how can these teams work together and how can these pieces fit together to make a significant in-district action and meeting? And then the fourth quarter, as some of you know, it's a time when we kind of reflect and plan for the next year, but we are anticipating a membership drive in the fourth quarter of 2026 as well. And this is a ways out, of course, but that's something that would be, I think, kind of new for Bread. But things for all of these, again, are things that we anticipate partnering with you all, with the state convenings on, and supporting you and really kind of driving what does that look like in your state. So again, just sort of a sketch overview of the quarters in 2026, and I should have said this before I move on. Each quarter we're going to have a national call so that we'll have the offering of letters launch in February, and then early April we'll have a national call, probably early July. So each quarter we've in the past had regional kind of meetings, and we're actually going to move to having these nationally. So we'll all be together for those in 2026, and then the state convenings will follow just a few weeks after those national calls to kind of move that work forward. So, what are we asking of state conveners? What is this role? What is this? The first thing to say too, I mean, this if you haven't seen this before too, it might be a little bit intimidating. This is really a partnership. Uh, it's something where, again, we want to work together. We want to support you all in connecting in with one another in carrying the work forward, being creative in that. But we do have there's just kind of a specific role that we are inviting you all to consider. And again, number of you already have said yes, which we're really grateful for. But it's really it's to recruit for and lead, which is really to kind of facilitate these quarterly state convenings in 2026. Recruit some people, recruit from your networks, your community, and then facilitate those meetings on a quarterly basis. The first ones being in late February, following the offering of letters launch. And then we'd also like for you to hold your own offering of letters, and most of you, or many of you, probably already are. So you're good to go there. And maybe some of you aren't. Love for you to do that. And then also, can you recruit one or two more in your state? And that can be, again, a collaborative team effort, and we can help you identify some potential places to reach out to as well. Attend the Advocacy Summit in June if you can. Put that on your calendars now and start to think about how you can make that work. And then help recruit a delegation from your state, as we've been talking about. And again, this is ideally a team effort with others in these state convenings. So you're not alone, and we're going to support you along the way. And then again, moving into the third quarter, so leading or maybe delegating for these in-district meetings that we were talking about with Congress, starting in August, but those often continue into the fall as well, depending on when we can get on their calendars. So just kind of making sure those are moving along and happening as well. And then recruiting and supporting the membership drive that we mentioned earlier. So some of these more details to come, certainly, but those are kind of the main things that we are asking. And some of you have asked, we know, I'm not sure about this whole year, but what about, can I see how the first quarter goes? And the answer is yes, absolutely. That's totally fine if that's kind of what you feel like you're able to take on at this point. We're grateful for that, and we'll make that a good meeting, good first meeting, and then we'll see where that goes, right? And kind of reevaluate. But yeah, let me real quick before I move on to the next slide to circle back because we did have some questions a little bit more about what and just something interesting you might want to know about the first quarter, these kickoff sort of state convening meetings and what will we be doing in those, right? So it'll be following the offering of letters launch, and there's a few things and that I think are interesting and exciting, and one of them is just to kind of look at as a state who are the priority members of Congress in your state, getting kind of a lay of the land. And maybe you already know that, maybe you don't. And every state's of course different, but kind of being clear on that from the get-go. Okay, who are the members of Congress based on committee assignments and other factors that we should be paying attention to? And do we have people there? Or maybe we don't. And if we don't, how can we change that? But that's kind of one thing, and we'll help provide some of that information to you. And then the other thing, and this is pretty new. This is very new actually for bread that my colleagues and I are excited about. But we, um, as I think you all know, that this last year was pretty rough, right? 2025, in terms of some of the policy losses that we had and USAID getting dismantled, and then HR1 and the changes to SNAP. Um, so with HR1 specifically and the changes with that are impacting SNAP moving forward, a lot of that now is trickling down to the states, and we're going to actually have a whole kind of webinar with our institute colleagues in January to explain more about what those changes are and to SNAP. So you can look forward to that. But suffice to say, in 2026, states are going to have to find a lot more money to or attempt to keep SNAP kind of going, and we want to also be engaging at the state level. And that's, of course, we are still predominantly federally focused as Bread for the World, but we're going to actually have an option, and we're going to encourage you in your first quarter convenings to email your state legislators together, and we'll have a way to do that. And we can see where that goes, and maybe there'll be other ways to engage. But just to ask them to do what they can to make sure SNAP remains solvent and funded in the state. So a little a different direction for us, but that'll be interesting and more to come on that. And then lastly, before we kind of just see what questions folks have, what can you all expect from us as staff, from Florence, from Nicole, from myself, from Rob, and not as much from David because he's retiring. But so, as mentioned, we will have these quarterly national meetings, and which used to be regional, but again, we'll all be together, and we'll have legislative updates in those meetings. We'll share information, we'll share stories, we'll share next steps. So you can expect those to continue. And along with those, too, we'll have other quarterly or other national meetings that we're excited about, like the one on the SNAP changes I mentioned. We'll be partnering more with our colleagues in the Bread Institute, the Policy and Research Institute. In 2026, we'll have more of those kinds of trainings and lunch and learn sessions, skills trainings as well. So we'll be providing that. Along with that, just support and training, like with other state conveners as well that we will lead. So we'll convene the conveners like we're doing now in 2026, and we're going to have a toolkit with resources, with templates for meetings, examples. So we'll have that for you as well, and we will be supporting and helping support recruitment. We have kind of lists of that we can help provide as well, of people in the state who might be worth reaching out to and checking in with, helping with turnout as well for those convenings. And then one-on-one support as needed, with Nicole, with Florence, with myself, with Rob. So you can expect that from us. And again, we see this as a partnership. We are grateful for you all considering this opportunity and the ways in which you've already contributed to Bread. So thanks for just listening to that, hearing that, considering, and I'll now kind of move on to and stop sharing my screen so we can see faces again and see what kind of questions folks have to all that. I know that that's a lot of information, and again, some of that you probably already knew, but yeah, floor is open for questions, so feel free to come off mute. Uh, Hopefully my colleagues are checking the chat. I think they are. And yes, Anne, please.
Hi. So I'm sort of like on the fence kind of person. I'm very interested, but I work full time, and I'm just wondering if this is like how big of a commitment this is.
Yeah, thanks, Anne. That's a great question. I think it could vary. I think that if your plate is particularly full already, maybe it's a situation where we can help with a co-convener. I know a number of states will have co-conveners, right? And so we should talk about that. I think it's really hard to say, and I think it'll vary from person to person too. But the bulk of it will be the convenings themselves, I'd say. So these 4 times a year, hour meeting or so, and then hopefully some recruitment around that. So if
Right.
that
But it
helps.
seems like there's like a lot of uh, behind the scenes kind of work too, which I'm interested in, but I just, I don't want to, I mean, I have time, but I don't have time during the day.
Got it. Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that'll again vary. But yes, I think there would be some like kind of research and maybe sending some emails and things like that. And which depending on what you're able to do. But yeah, I think we can absolutely work with that and would love to. Glad you're considering it and keep thinking and yeah, we'll see maybe I don't know if you have ideas for a co-convener or we can talk about that too and if that would be helpful. So.
What I love about this
Thank
idea,
you.
Anne, is that it's really, we're going to communicate with you when we want these convenings to happen. We'll give you kind of a window of time of when we want to make these meetings happen. But as the leader, you have some flexibility in scheduling that. So I think that's really helpful. I mean, at least for me, when I'm thinking about committing to new things, having, a little bit of autonomy as far as, the scheduling and timing and all of that is really helpful. So
Yeah, thanks, Nicole. Yeah, Pastor
see,
Marty.
Yeah, thanks. Um, I sort of took on this role voluntarily. I'll get my picture up there. When I first moved here to Jamestown in 2020, and Bread for the World supplied me with some addresses and names and emails of various people in the state. And I sent a letter out to everybody. I mean, mailed a letter, and didn't get a big response. I was a little disappointed with that. Some letters got returned, so the information was out of date. Tried putting together an email list, and again, didn't get a very big response. A few people responded, and anyways, life got busy, and I haven't really kept up with it. But that would be something that would be very helpful to any state organizer if Bread for the World could pass along contact information for folks. And I don't know if there's any monetary support to help with postage or uh, somehow an email blast or something to get people connected. Because, some of the names I recognized, I knew who they were, but other people totally new to me. And there was one guy up in Grand Forks, and I'm sorry I have not been staying in touch, but he was pretty active. And so it just we just need good information and we need encouragement when we don't hear back. I mean, I had a list of like 50 names, and I think I heard from maybe 6 people. So
Yeah,
I don't know
that sounds
how to
about
get
right,
the,
Marty.
yeah, I don't know. Maybe in your newsletters, you could say, hey, this is happening. Reach out to your state coordinator, your convener, um, whatever can happen. So thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah, no,
Zach, you've been a big help, Zach. So it's not a complaint.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
just
No,
it's
six
just my
out of
experience.
50. I think most of us are like 6 out of 50. That's pretty good, actually, Marty. That sounds about right. So that's and North Dakota is going to be tough, right? So you gotta, but absolutely, we'll continue providing that. I think, yeah, and along with whatever you all, everyone, in terms of just starting with your connections to your denomination, your community. I mean, and I think between the two of those sources, we can get a list. And certainly with email, we can help with all that and providing that kind of information and helping to get the word out. So thanks for sharing that, Marty. How about other questions? I don't see any other hands at the moment. I've seen some in the chat. Any other questions or and if no questions, even like feel free to share a comment or something, or if you've been thinking about this already and what you're excited about for the your state convening. Yeah, Beth, go ahead.
Okay, I'm off mute. Yeah, I'm excited about this. I think it's a really great idea for Red to organize this way. Because I've always felt like, when it's a national, I mean, it's great to see all the different states on this call and all of that, but especially thinking about getting together to know best how to, communicate with our local people, Congress people and senators and so forth. And so, yeah, I mean, I just think it's a great idea. I think it will be really helpful to forge some relationships that are close by. And so I think that's, should work really well. I do have a thought as far as, and I'm thinking you probably have this too, but thinking about what Marty said about not getting much response. I think sometimes a phone call works better, especially if you can say that you're a local person and you live in the state and you're just trying to get people together for a conversation. It doesn't, I think that might work well. So if we could have phone numbers, I think that would be great.
Yeah, people
Yeah.
don't always pick up their phone anymore, though.
Well, but you can leave a message, right? I mean,
Yeah,
I don't pick up
yeah.
my phone either, but
Or
if there's a
text, or
message,
yeah.
then yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, we have a parallel conversation going in the chat right now, Beth, about
Oh, okay.
just that. So no, it's great. Yeah, so we can definitely provide phone numbers and phone text also good. So
Hey, Zach, can I invite Dave Miner to maybe share some of the things that he's been doing?
sure, yeah,
Dave, are you
absolutely.
still here? Uh-oh, maybe he had to drop off.
Yeah, his camera's off and he's muted. So and we can circle back. We can
Sure.
share some bullet points or something from Dave's of his work in Indiana in the past and then in Kentucky. Okay, well, don't want to hold folks much longer and let you get to more Christmas preparations, but any final questions or comments before I bring up just kind of what's next?
A quick
Zach,
question, Zach.
sorry, go ahead.
Is
Oh,
the
yeah.
offering of letters launch entirely online on February 10?
Yeah, thanks, John. I just saw your private chat too. Is about to respond. Yes, this we anticipate it will be entirely online this year. Yes. Uh, yep. That could change, but it'd be like a small in-person contingent if so. But for now, it's just online. Good question. February 10, and we'll actually get the link in the chat for you all in just a moment. So, okay.
The only other, I want to encourage Marty to do everything that he can. I think North Dakota is an important agricultural state, and uh, I almost wish that I lived there so that I could maybe have even more influence over some things. In terms of you have more more senators, so to speak, or fractions of a senator per resident than a lot of other states like California. So I just want to encourage you as much as I can. And my spouse is originally from North Dakota, so I'm also partial to that state there as well. And
Maybe we
and
should.
others, I've tried hard to recruit people to take part in, and part of the reason for my question about the launch being entirely online. Last year's Nourish Our Future campaign was also partly in person, and I was trying to encourage people. And I just I don't want people to be discouraged by lack of response. People are busy, so that's all.
They are. Yep, that's a good point, John. Maybe we should try to organize like a swap. Like John, you go to North Dakota, Marty, you come to Maryland, and we can do like a bread swap and live in different places for a time now.
Maybe even a watch party, right? Even though we're going to be all virtual, maybe you can organize
Watch
watch
party, yeah,
parties.
good.
Mhm. You have
Uh,
two hands up, Zach.
yes, yes, saw that. Kim, well, Kim, did your hand go down? Did you have something?
I was just going to suggest the same thing Florence said about a watch party. We'd done that at our church for a different organizing campaign like a month ago, when the SNAP benefits were on the line, and we had like, I don't know, 60, 70 people turn out for a watch party. So you really can get people engaged that way.
That's great. Yes, yes. Watch party for the Offering of Letters launch. That's great. Put that on your radars now. Thanks, Kim. Abby.
Yeah, I just wanted to comment on the discouragement from a lack of responses. With my experience with bread and the impact it has had on me and my ability to communicate with my lawmakers, I've gotten a lot of satisfaction from the fact that I'm fulfilling my responsibility as a citizen, and educating myself and, talking directly to local lawmakers. I feel like I get a sense of control in the crazy political world we live in right now. So I just wanted to share that because when you are doing this stuff, you're a lot more involved than the majority of the population, at least speaking for myself locally in South Dakota. So I feel a sense of responsibility and satisfaction there. And then sometimes the non-response is a response as well. Nicole, I'm sure you remember our meeting with Dusty Johnson. I'll remember it forever. So I just love sharing my experiences with lawmakers, with my fellow citizens, so that they get a sense of what their lawmakers like and kind of get a personal connection and perception of them through me. So I just wanted to say that as well. So thank you all. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, Zach.
Yeah, thanks so much, Abby. That's great. All right. Good. Well, let me then just move us to the end here. Share my screen once more. Already got the questions. Thanks again for a lot of good questions and comments as well. I really appreciate that. It's the kind of support we want to continue to see and create space for amongst you all. So yeah, so if you all are ready to be a state convener, for those of you who are ready, I should say, just give us a thumbs up. Let's see a thumbs up or tell us in the chat. And now I'm sharing my slides, so we're not going to see everyone, but yeah, uh, use the emoji or tell us in the chat that you're in as a state convener. If you are, and if you're still thinking about it, again, that's totally fine. We'd really be grateful if you could let us know by the 12th of January. Monday the 12th, just a little less than a month out from the Offering of Letters launch. And then we're going to start kind of, setting up these state convenings happening after the launch in late February and just getting that all ironed out. So yeah, and so be in touch with your organizer if you still want to talk this through, have further questions. Absolutely. But again, whatever you decide, uh, yes or no, or still need some more time, we'd love for you to attend the Offering Letters launch once again. Tuesday the 10th, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. And please recruit others for that. Definitely, if you're going to be a convener, recruit others, but even if you're not, we'd be grateful for that. We had 1,000 people at the Nourish Our Future launch earlier this year in February, and that was a unique time and it's sort of a unique launch experience. But we'd love to get upward toward 1,000 again, and it's a really important year for our work together. So we want to start strong and carry that forward. We got some time, so. Yeah. And then if you are if you're in, start thinking about when you want to hold your state convening. Again, we're thinking mid to late February is kind of roughly the time frame. And I would say make a list. Start with a list of maybe 3 to 5 people that you want to invite. That can be kind of a helpful way to get some thoughts out and focus on that, and then start having those conversations. So yeah, that's what's next. Really, really grateful again for your time. So thank you. And as my children say, as Gen Z says, let's go. As Rob likes to say too, let's
Now you gotta
go.
go, let's go.
Oh yeah,
Gotta.
yeah, you can add more O's too. That's true. I didn't do that, but yeah, so that's it. Thank you all again for your time. Again, especially on a week out from Christmas. Really grateful, and we look forward to following up with you all. So have a great night. I'll
Thank
stick
you,
around for
everyone.
another couple minutes if people have any final questions. But Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Thanks, everyone. We'll be in
Thank you,
Merry
touch.
everyone.
Christmas.
Merry
Good night,
Christmas. Thanks,
everyone.
everyone.
Merry Christmas. Bon Noel. Feliz Navidad.
I'm good, Zach.
You good, John?